You've done this. A wilting plant, a loving pour of fertilizer, one dose to save it. But beneath the soil, that rescue just became a death sentence because the roots meant to absorb it have already shut down. This yellowing and wilting triggers a deeply human protective instinct. We treat liquid fertilizer like medicine, a quick dose of energy to restore life. Yet, horticultural experts at Washington State and the University of Maryland warn never to feed plants stressed by heat or drought. A single concentrated dose can rapidly accelerate a fatal decline, depending on a fragile mix of species, soil moisture, and root damage. The real issue is whether the struggling plant can actually absorb those nutrients. But the story beneath the soil goes even darker. Beneath the surface of the soil lies a hidden mirror of the leaves above, a vast fine web of microscopic root hairs. These fragile extensions expand root-to-soil contact, serving as the plant's primary gateway for moisture. But when a plant suffers from waterlogging, disease, or mechanical injury, these delicate structures are the first to fail, collapsing into useless dead cells. While the larger, visible roots may persist, the actual intake network is severely reduced. This catastrophic loss cripples the plant's hydraulic conductivity, the biological ability of the root system to move water upward into the plant. When this system fails, the presence of water in the soil becomes meaningless. Moisture around the roots alone does not guarantee adequate delivery to the thirsty leaves above. The roots are not taking in the rescue, they are surrounded by it. Without active root hairs, the plant undergoes physiological starvation in a sea of plenty, unable to absorb even a single drop. But the story beneath the soil goes even darker. When fertilizer is poured into the soil, it doesn't stay intact. It dissolves, splitting into charged ions, nitrate, ammonium, potassium, and phosphate. These dissolved mineral salts quickly cluster around the already damaged roots, drastically raising the external solute concentration. This alters the water potential, the physical force directing where moisture moves. Because of osmotic pressure, water naturally seeks equilibrium. When the surrounding soil is packed with fertilizer ions, it exerts a powerful pull, drawing water out of the vulnerable root cells to dilute the external buildup. While gardeners often call this reverse osmosis, its precise biological name is exosmosis. It is chemical desiccation. Measuring this salt buildup reveals the electrical conductivity of the soil. An EC reading exceeding 3.5 decisiemens per meter acts as a critical red zone for most roots, though the exact danger threshold varies depending on the plant species, the substrate, and the soil's moisture. Compounding this, ammonium-based fertilizers can shift the rhizosphere pH, further burning the remaining viable tissue. Unaware of this underground chemical battle, the gardener waits for signs of recovery, but beneath the surface, the surviving root tips are actively dying under the chemical onslaught. And this is where the damage becomes irreversible. Above ground, the leaves begin to show the damage. Within 24 to 48 hours of a toxic dose, the very tips and margins of the leaves turn dry, crisp, and brown. This necrotic tissue is dead, starved of moisture as water movement from the ruined roots completely stalls. A white, salty crust may even form on the soil. But to a gardener, these crispy edges look like hunger. Misinterpreting the burn as a nutrient deficiency, they pour in another dose. This second feeding increases the salt load, destroying what remains of the root system and causing even worse leaf injury. The lethal loop is complete. What happens next is the part no fertilizer label will ever tell you. To stop the damage, you must act as a surgeon. First, flush the soil. Pour plain, low EC water through the pot, equal to 3 to 4 times its volume. High salt tap water will undermine this process. Let the water run completely out of the drainage holes. Leaving the plant sitting in runoff reintroduces the salt. Next, practice deliberate restraint. Withhold all fertilizer for 2 to 4 weeks. While temporary nutrient removal is harmless, biological recovery is slow. Provide suitable light, correct temperature, and consistent moisture. Have you ever lost a plant you were trying to save with fertilizer? Subscribe to learn more. A genuine nutrient deficiency demands a completely different response. True hunger often reveals itself as interveinal chlorosis, where the tissue between leaf veins turns yellow while the veins themselves remain green. but a single yellow leaf is not enough. Guidelines from the University of Missouri, the University of Arizona, and the Royal Horticultural Society trace gradual patterns tied to leaf age and nutrient mobility. Actively growing plants with functioning roots easily process these inputs. Sick, dehydrated, or damaged plants cannot. Before feeding, check leaf age, symptom patterns, soil moisture, and root health to treat true hunger, not stress. Recovery is a quiet, unseen process. Whether tending an indoor fern or a potted backyard tomato, true care means stepping back. We must watch the plant's overall trend instead of reacting to every brown leaf. Those damaged edges will never turn green again, and that is okay. Instead, wait for the ultimate sign of survival, a tiny, fresh shoot unfolding. This new growth is the proof that the microscopic root system has restarted. Patience is our most active form of care. Have you ever lost a plant you were trying to save with fertilizer? Subscribe for more clear, science-based plant care. Today, the urge to intervene remains our greatest mistake. The dying plant teaches us a vital truth. Sometimes, the most profound act of care is knowing when to step back.